Close your eyes. It's 3:07 a.m. Can you hear it? That lone violin coming from the trees. Every instinct screams run, but a deeper, darker part of you asks, what is it? You've seen the posts, the warnings online, but what if they're more than pixels and whispers? What if the signal is real? Tonight, we don't run. We turn toward the sound. We dig up the roots and uncover the chilling truth behind the 3 a.m. signal. Stay with us if you dare to find out what's really playing in the dark. Before it was a whisper in the woods, it became a scream on the web. The 3 a.m. violin. It lives here now, in the endless scroll, in the shared nightmares of a million screens. Some call it a creepypasta, a digital ghost story created for clicks and chills. They share memes, dare videos, go into the woods at 3 a.m. and record. A dangerous game played from the safety of a bedroom. They post recordings, often fake, sometimes disturbingly ambiguous. But beneath the jokes and the skepticism, you find patterns, specific times, similar descriptions of the sound, how it sounds, personal, how it seems to know you're listening. Accounts pop up, share terrifying details, and then silence. Profiles deleted, ghost accounts. Is it just a shared illusion amplified by algorithms? Or is the internet simply a new web picking up echoes of something much older? Something that has learned to spread its signal through fiber optics rather than just the wind. Because if you dig, scratch beneath the surface of the screen, you find scars. Long before Wi-Fi reached the deep woods, people heard things. Listen to this. Local accounts, decades apart. Ghost music, unexplained disappearances. Always near these specific remote woods. Always around that liminal hour before dawn. Coincidence? Maybe. But the stories persist. Ah, the violin man. Yes, well, before he was a meme, he was many things. In some older tales, he's a Waldgeist, a forest spirit, luring travelers astray with enchanting melodies. In others, he's a cautionary tale, someone who's made a deal with something else in exchange for musical genius. His price? To play forever, an unseen sentinel. These weren't stories meant to entertain, they were warnings. Don't stray, don't listen to sounds that don't belong. The forest remembers, you know. And the internet, well, the internet never really lets anything die. It just gives old ghosts new names and new ways to reach us. Warnings. But humans, we don't hear very well, do we? We need proof. We need to touch the wound, even though we know it's infected. And sometimes, we find it. This recording surfaced last year. It's said to have been captured deep in Nahanni National Park in Canada, the Valley of the Headless Men. We sent it to Ben Carter, an audio analyst. It's fascinating and deeply strange. Standard analysis shows it is a violin, probably a copy of Stradivarius. But look, there are infrasound frequencies here, below human hearing, but known to cause discomfort, anxiety, even hallucinations. But this isn't random noise. It's structured. It almost sounds like a word, repeated. And the melody itself, it's not just a loop. It changes. It adapts. It's almost like it's hearing back. I was just out for a late-night walk. Stupid, I know. Then I listened to it. It was beautiful at first, sad. But then, it felt like it was inside my head. It knew I was scared. It started playing faster, harsher. It wasn't music anymore. It was a threat. I ran. I didn't look back. I felt it behind me the whole way. I can still hear it sometimes, when it's really quiet. People dismiss it, right? Weather, animals, pranksters. But look, the dates match. New moon cycles, local disappearances. The sound signatures share markers across continents. It's perhaps the most compelling and tragic echo comes from Blackwood Forest, 1958. This is Thomas Finch, a gifted violinist, it was said, destined for greatness, but he was tormented. He often walked in the woods seeking inspiration. He told his sister that the woods sang to him. He was working on a new piece, a complex, haunting sonata that he claimed had come to him in a dream, or perhaps a nightmare. He believed it to be his masterpiece, but also dangerous. His last diary entry reads, "Tonight I play for the trees. They will hear my soul, and I will finally understand their song." He entered Blackwood Forest that night. He never came out. No body was found. Only his empty violin case resting at the foot of an ancient oak tree. Did Thomas simply get lost? Did he succumb to his own demons? Or did he play his sonata and become part of the forest's eternal, terrible song? Is it his violin we hear, a ghost trapped in an endless performance? Or has it simply opened a door to something much, much older? So what do we have? Digital whispers and historical echoes, unsettling sounds and people disappearing, threads that lead nowhere, or maybe everywhere. There are no clear answers here, no monsters to unmask, just a sign, a terrifying lure in the dead of night. And maybe that's the real horror. The legend endures not because it's a puzzle to be solved, but because it's a warning, a siren song. It doesn't want to be understood. It wants to be found. It wants you to stop. It wants you to listen. And once you really listen, you may never hear anything else. Some legends are better left untouched. Some doors are better left closed. The next time you're alone and the clock strikes 3 and you hear a sound you can't explain, trust your instincts. Run. But the forest and the internet are not the only borders. The signal, it leaks. It bleeds into our world, seeping through the static of everyday life. How many reports are there of recordings, true crime podcasts, work Zoom calls, even voicemails left for loved ones, where, in the background, barely audible, a strange melody lingers? A violin where there should be none, dismissed as background noise until someone actually listens. People report their smart devices turning on by themselves, promptly at 3:07 a.m., sometimes whispering fragments of music or words that the mind refuses to process. Are they just bugs, radio interference, or has the signal found new strings to pluck, our own circuits, our own homes? Think about it. You're watching this video right now. You've heard the recordings, the story. How can you be sure the sound stopped when we did? How do you know an echo hasn't latched onto your cache, your history, or worse, your own perception? The modern legend no longer requires you to go into the woods. Perhaps by searching for it, by listening to its story, by pressing play, you have already waved in. You have already opened the door. And now, the entity behind the violin knows where you live. It knows you are listening. Listen closely. That subtle noise you just heard in your house, was it the wind or a stray note searching for a listener? You may never hear anything else again. Some legends are better left untouched. Some doors should remain closed. The next time you are alone and the clock strikes 3 and you hear a sound you cannot explain, trust your instincts. Run. You have survived, for now, but the silence after such a warning can be deafening, or it can be an invitation.
If your curiosity screams louder than your fear, know that the violin is not the only sound that haunts the night and cracks the thin veneer of our reality. Here at Urban Echoes, we are the guardians of these whispers. Each video is a portal, a different frequency tuned to the unexplainable, to the urban echoes that refuse to disappear. There are other signs to decipher, other rules you need to know to survive, other dark corners of the internet and the outside world that we dare to illuminate, even if only briefly. Want to explore the haunted corridors of an abandoned hospital or understand the bizarre rules of an online ritual? Click on these portals here on the side. They are echoes waiting for you. And if you need to know what else lurks in the shadows, if you want to stay tuned to this dangerous frequency and ensure that no echo catches you off guard, then join us. Sign up. Become part of Urban Echoes. After all, it's safer to hear these stories together, isn't it? Or is it? Stay tuned. The next echo could be yours.